Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the Morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. I'm going to start the Shiur. Of course, this Shiur is in honor of all the Yidden, especially in Eretz Yisroel, and all the soldiers, and Yosef Yitzchak ben Simcha, and everything should be good and should come out nice and good in all of his units. Also, give tzedakah, give tzedakah, and this Shiur is in learning of all the passages that should come back speedily, and included is specifically for this class we're going to focus on Tamar bat Liriya. That Mitzvah Hashem with all of them should be good and healthy and safe and only good. Okay, now today we're going to learn Maamar Daled, which is going to finish off this section of learning. So Maamar Daled, it's just one parak. Unlike the other ones, it was 2 or 3 parakim. This is only one parak. And in Maamar Daled, we basically want to sort of bring it all together and sort of reiterate what we said before and discuss about famous vart of the rope that's connected below and above. Let's see. Maamar Daled, parak Aleph. After all that we've explained, now will be understood. Tamar sheyetzahara besisay shegam im yaseh ma'asara eino nifrad mi'achdus yisbarach. At this, the Yitzhahara comes and it fools us that it tells us that even if we're going to do something that is wrong, that we know is not good, we don't lose our separation from Hashem. We don't get disconnected from Hashem. Hurak ruach shtus. This is only the spirit of folly. Hamachas alames that covers over the truth. This is falsehood. To use a bad example, but you look around the world today and you see what's going on in Eretz Yisroel, and you see how the world's reacting, and all these people, these college campuses that you think they have, seichel. This is exactly saying the Yitzhahara. It's like what? Like the Yitzhahara fools us and telling you what's wrong is right, and what's bad for you is actually good for you, and it covers over the truth. Exactly what we're seeing today. And this is what our rabbi said in Saita al Pasuk Kisishte Ishtay. Then when that in Masechta Saita, which is talking about a woman that turns astray, and she's suspected of adultery. So when it says Kisishte Ishtay, when a woman turns astray, Ein Adam Over Avera Ela Im Kein Nichnas Beruach Shtus. That by nature a person doesn't want to do an avera. We don't want to separate ourselves from Hashem. So therefore, if that's the case, then why do we? Why do we separate ourselves? Why do we do the averas? It's because of the ruach shtus. We have the spirit of folly. If something enters us, this Yitzhahara, that convinces us that we can do the avera and we're still good. Ta'afilu isha hamina efes. So now he's going to go on this sort of mashal, or this case of the adulterous woman. Even this adulterous woman, she died to kala. Her mind is light, that she's weak, meaning what normal sane person is going to commit adultery? How is that sane? She would be able to overcome her spirit of lust, of desire. She would be able to, if not for the ruach shtus, the spirit of folly, this Yitzhahara, that covers over and conceals the love, the love meaning, of course, love for the Hashem, that's hidden benafsha, in her soul, ha'elikis. The davka be'emes be'emunas Hashem, to cleave to the belief in Hashem, meaning to cleave to Hashem, b'yichud v'achdusa, and his unity and his oneness, and not to separate herself from his unity. I feel even they'll take her soul. To do meaning, by nature, we want to do the right thing. We want to connect. And even and the Rabbi Shah was saying, even in this case, meaning anything about logically in the case we're talking about. Person, if you think about it, a person to commit adultery, you ruin your life, you ruin your marriage. Is it worth it? Does it make any sense? And and that's just like your marriage, not including your connection to Hashem. So then how does that come about? It's a ruach shtus. It's the spirit of folly. We have the Yetzer Hara, unfortunately or fortunately, and it pushes them. But my base parak aleph, like we said in the beginning, in the second Maamar in the first parak, sheyesh b'teva neshamas Yisrael she'einam yochelim liyois nifradim melekus, that we can't be separated from Hashem. V'hainu mitad ha'ava musater shabbat, because of the hidden love within us, we have it. And therefore, gam hakal shvakalim, even the most lightest, ignorant, lacking of knowledge, lacking of connection in a revealed way, even them, meisa nafshay al kedush Hashem, v'chulu kanal, are giving themselves over to Hashem. It's like we see clearly what's been going on in Eretz Yisroel. The amount of people that until now didn't have really any connection, didn't keep Shabbos, didn't, I heard a story. A lady called, like you hear the conversation. She calls, it's a hotline. She's like, I need help. I go, yeah, how can I help you? She's like, I went on light Shabbos candle. I've never done it before in my life. She's Israeli. She, I think she has kids. She's like, I've never done this before. I don't know how to do it. I want to say, can you help me? And they both get very emotional. By nature, that's what we want to do. But the Yetzer Hara comes and it gets us, and there's so many levels. Not even that case. Yetzer Hara is not even like to not do it. Just it's so sunken into galus. She doesn't even know about it. Doesn't even realize there's a thing I should be doing this really. But by nature, what she's doing is exactly what she wants to do, and this is what we all want to do. To the extent we'd even give up our lives for this. Even just to bow down without any real faith in it, not really believing, just doing it just so I don't get in trouble. That he doesn't do that. Say how much more so to overcome a Yetzer Hara, v'taiva haniyuf, and the desire for adultery, shehem isurim kalim, which are much easier to withstand. Me misa Hashem Yishmeinu, from death, that God should protect us. Meaning, if a person, a yid, is willing to sacrifice their lives, it's like the famous thing of Daniel Pearl, that before he got unfortunately killed by ISIS, I don't know, it was before ISIS, it was Taliban. He said, he grew up, he's lived his life as he was Jewish, but he lived his life as I forgot what it's called, one of these Eastern religions, Buddhist. He said, I was born a Jew and I'll die a Jew. What, meaning, why? When I was in Mitzrayim in Eretz Yisroel, I remember I asked the guy to put on tefillin, and he said to me, he was so disconnected. He goes, what you telling me is go walk up that roof. Why would I do that? Who cares? It was so disconnected. And I'm sure now he's probably expressing himself very differently, Yiddishkeit. But even this Daniel Paul, that he grew up, that he lived his life not as a Jew, and in his whole life was not as a Jew. When the last moment of his life, what does he say? I'm a Jew. And this is how we have it, and we're willing to give up our lives for this. So then, if we and it's such a funny thing, because we're willing to give up our lives when it comes, and Jewish pride has been brought out, but and to the extent that we're willing to give up our lives, but then when it comes to a mitzvah or holding ourselves back, or suddenly I can't. It's so hard. But this is what it is. The Yetzer Hara that fools us, and we have to recognize this is the brain we have to have. I'll be willing to give up my life. I remember one time I was Mitzrayim in Chanukah near a college campus, and it started we had a little table with menorahs and an electric menorah, and trying to get people to light and it started getting very rowdy, and it was a little out of control. It wasn't dangerous or anything, Baruch Hashem, but just it was a Thursday night. It was a little rowdy, so people were drunk, and people were getting a little bit crazy. And this guy jumped out of nowhere, and he came in with his Jewish pride, I'm a Jew. What are you guys doing? Get out of here, leave him alone. So I was like, whoa. I was like, come, light the menorah. He's like, what is that? And I was like, whoa, you don't know what the menorah is? He's like, no. I'm like, come, just follow with me. He didn't know what a menorah is even. But the Jewish pride is that. When it comes to Mesiras Nefesh, we're all there. But we have to recognize that we would, and us that we're here learning a Shiur, and in the Chassidus, for sure we would do it. So then when it comes to the Yetzer Hara, you're going to beat me? I'm a person that's willing to sacrifice my life for Judaism, and I'm going to just fall prey to this shtus. By Hefresh, so why does it happen? Why is it so hard? She'etzlo Bein Isur and Niyuv Isur Ishtachavas, in regards to the case of this adulterous woman, what's the difference? Laved Zara who Gamkein Shtus to Klippam, Hamalabeshes and Nefesh Elokis. It's the Shtus of Klippam that covers over Nefesh Elokis and tells her, don't worry about it. You can do it. You can enjoy it. You can have your cake and eat it. It'll be fine. And this is the struggle of life that we have, but one of the many. But it sort of it centers around this. Because if we could not listen to the Yetzer Hara, and we would be able to overcome, the more we could do that, the better everything else would come. I know, meaning what? Meaning, how is it able to convince us? How does this happen? Because what happens is it convinces us, the Yetzer Hara, in the case of this adulterous woman, that we don't lose anything. We don't separate ourselves. You can have the cake and eat it. And I'm totally Jew. I'm good. I'm a good Jew. I'm good. But the truth is, like the real truth, I feel avera kala, even a light avera, hare havera, whoever goes against the does the avera goes against Hashem's will. Like we said before yesterday, and like in a good example is like marriage. You can't say, I know my spouse doesn't like this, but it's whatever. They don't really care. It's not such a big deal. It is. Everything's a big deal. It's not a healthy relationship if you say that. Some things, I'm not going to do that thing that they really don't like. But whatever. Like, I'll just do it anyway. It's not. It erodes a relationship. And how much more so with that relationship with Hashem? And Hashem is, way infinite. And this is the ultimate separation. Which is even worse than the Sitra Acha. Which is called Klippa and other gods, literally. Like we said yesterday, if anyone remembers why we're so separate, as we're going to explain. Even worse than all the things that come out of this Klippa and Sitra Acha, and things that are called Avodah Zarah Mamash. Which is impure animals, the chayos and wild birds, tameim and impure birds, ushkatzim and creepy crawlies, uramashim and reptiles. So when we do an avera and we listen to the Yetzer Hara, we become on a low level in these things. Now, the obvious reason, like we said many times already, is because we have the potential for such greatness. It's like what's worse, someone that can only, let's say a person can only achieve a 50 on the test, and they achieve a 45, or achieve a 50, and a person can achieve 100 and he achieves 75. On one hand, you can say, but they achieve 75, that's higher than 50. On the other hand, their potential is for 100, so 75 is not good enough. And this is sort of exactly what we're saying. The behemoths, to me, is the impure animals. They're not doing anything wrong. They're just doing what they're meant to do. Whereas us, we have the potential, so that's why it's a lot worse. And again, cannot reiterate enough. None of this is meant to get us down. It's meant to show us what's true and help inspire us and push us and help us have the oasis, have the words to bring with ourselves throughout the day. So when the challenge comes, we have the ability to make the right decision. Because if we did that even once throughout the day, even though 99 times you won't listen, we'll be successful. It's like they said in the Kuntres, they had this kid speak. I think he's from Sderot in Eretz Yisroel that's been through a lot, poor kid. And he said, we have 12 seconds to get into a safe place when the siren goes off for a rocket. So he said, he started explaining, he goes, 12 seconds, there's so much you can do in 12 seconds. Chassidim, the Rebbe taught us, 12 seconds, you can do so much. So meaning in the whole day, we have 1,440 minutes in a day. Just 12 seconds a day, do something good. That was already infinite. And I think today we'll finish here today. And tomorrow we'll talk about the rope and continuing on in this and finish hopefully this Maamar Daled. Everyone should have an amazing day. Everyone should have plenty of things to bring about. And Mitzvah Hashem, with all our learning and all our war that we're battling within us, should help the war in Eretz Yisroel, should come to a quick conclusion with the finishing off the job the way it's meant to be, and all the hashis coming back safely, and all the soldiers coming back safely, and it should be true peace, true calm in Eretz Yisroel. Have an amazing day.
Thank you.